Hey guys, welcome to another 31 Horror Toys in 31 Days review. Today I'm reviewing the Walking Dead figure pack by Mcfarlane Toys, and this is the building set figures. So they're rather tiny. They're about 2 inches tall, I believe. I don't know. We'll see. So let me dump them out here. Of course, something fell out the back, but we'll see what that was in a minute. Okay, it's also got this. And we'll go over the package right now. As you can see, right here is where this guy's supposed to be displayed. He's just going to be like that. But unfortunately, they were opened previously. But as you can see, I got this for a pretty good price, $5.99. I know there are others out there for even cheaper at like Ross, where I got mine, or other places. So keep your eye out for that. This one is, it's about worth $6, I'd say. That's like $1 per figure, which, you know, evens out fairly amount. It's fair. Okay. It says includes these 5 buildable figures. So, you know, it's actually a little more than $1 each. Okay, so there's a nice image of Andy over there, Andy Lincoln. And then a nice image of the other figures here. And then other sets, which I actually own this one and still looking for that one. And there's the tower, which I own, but not the gate. Yeah, I did a review of that, so take a look at that. I also did a building thing, stop motion on. I'll put it up here for you. It's fair. Underneath. Okay, let's toss that aside, and let's take a look at the pamphlet, which is also something it comes with. It shows other figures there, and in case you're too stupid to figure this out, how to put these guys together, they actually show you. Like, really? I thought that crush part was supposed to connect to the head. Well, that shows what I know about anatomy. Hook. Collectible figures. Okay, so now let's take a look at the little collectible figures that come in here, which, I don't know, collectible figures, yeah, I guess that's fair. They're not the type that you really can display on your shelves alone. They really have to be with the sets, or otherwise they just look like a bunch of little army soldiers. So let's start out with the main man here, Merle, who is, you know, like probably the most exclusive to this set, because I know that they've got different versions of Rick. They've got different versions of this RV walker just put throughout, and then that prison walker. And then this one I think is also rather exclusive here. This is the walker that kills Dale, I believe. Spoiler in case you haven't seen like freaking second season of Walking Dead. Okay, and the sculpt on this guy is fair. It's very nice. The paint, however, is not too well done. Which, you know, you can't really blame them because it's so tiny, but his face has absolutely no paint. There's no eyebrow paint. Most of his hair isn't painted. Mouth isn't painted. Just no eyeballs. They could have tried a little. I like the sculpt of the little knife hand here. That's well done. It's all silvery, so that's painted well. And then his body is just well sculpted overall. I think the face resembles Merle quite a bit. Look at that. I'm more surprised that my camera can get focus on such a tiny guy. But when I have a figure that's like 7 inches tall, you can't get freaking focus at all. Okay, and then he's got a nice little wash all throughout, black wash and a little brown tossed here and there, so he pooped himself on the front, as you can see. It's a common thing. If it's not for you, then you're just lying. I like his fisted hand there. So he could be put in action poses. I like that. He could just be like throwing a walker around, like holding him and throwing him that way, punching one. You could bring this down, turn his head, make it look like he's stabbing one. Yeah, that's pretty useful. And his articulation is pretty good on this one because his head can turn side to side, and then his arms can do full rotation on either side as well. And usually with these figures, the articulation's just like, it's not too usable because they're pre-posed and holding a gun or something. But because he's got just sort of a fighting position here, he can be put in all sorts of different fighting positions. So I do like this one. This is probably my favorite from the set. Now let's take a look at one of the walkers, which is the RV walker next, which you can't really tell too well because, let's get some focus in here. Oh, now you're not going to focus. Wait. No, we're getting it. Yep, there we are. Okay. So this kind of resembles the RV walker, so I'm going to say it is, because you can see he's missing an eye there, and he actually does have something sticking into it. They just didn't sculpt the full thing sticking out, the full handle of the screwdriver, which on the front of the packaging and all, you can see it. Yeah, it looks like that. You probably wouldn't be able to see it on the camera, so I'm not going to bother showing. But other than that, he's got the same clothing as the RV walker, and just basically overall looks like the RV walker, so he's the RV walker. He's got fair face sculpt, and the paint on him I do like because it's just blood everywhere, everywhere. All over his face, all over his chest, and, well, technically not everywhere. He could have some more on his arms. So that's a complaint. He's got his nice skin tone there, and then his yellowed shirt there, black wash overall. I like this one, but not my favorite from the set. Probably one of the least favorites. His arm does a full articulation, his head can move side to side. Other arm can do full articulation if you want to. Then at the waist there's a little bit of rotation, and because for some reason the walkers have more articulation than the humans, and they can kick their hips out like that. Which isn't too useful because, again, they're kind of pre-posed, so setting him down here, he just falls over if you try and get him in any other position than what he's meant to be in. So yeah, it's debatable whether that's needed at all. Okay, next in the set, let's go for Rick Grimes, since he's probably one of the other figures that people wanted from this set, because all the other Rick Grimes figures are holding like rifles, and maybe just, there's one that's not even holding anything, he just has fisted hands, but not in any sort of fighting position. It's just odd, you can't really do much with him. This one, I do like the pose of, he's holding a gun, it just, the legs are my problem. I feel like they should be a little more spread apart, like maybe that far, but they're this close together, which makes it a little bit hard for standing them up. Okay, not here, this is pretty good. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, if you get him in the right position, he sort of balances out well. Okay, so the sculpt on him is fair. It looks like Andrew Lincoln. Let's see if we can get enough focus in here so you can see. Had it for a second. Back to the focus. There we are. Yeah, it looks like Andrew Lincoln. More like, kind of like him. His nose looks a little big. But overall, I would say it looks like him. And his hair is sculpted fairly well. It's kind of too curly, I think. Yeah, it's fair. No face paint because they don't bother with that. The gun I don't feel is done too well because there's like no silver paint at all, just black. And then the handle isn't even painted right there. It's just flesh toned. The body's sculpted and painted fairly well. It's all wrinkly. Who could ask for anything more? And then he's got his gun holster there. Yeah, overall the body's done well. Maybe that's his watch there that's unpainted. If you wanted to, painting these guys would be a challenge, but it would be pretty cool to see them all painted up, wouldn't it? Here he is looking down his scope there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, so he's my second favorite from the set, which it kind of figures that the two human figures would be your favorites, right? Because all the walkers are basically just army builders. Yep, like that Andrew Lincoln one, so let's set that down. Oh, might as well point out articulation. Does a full head rotation. His arm can move, kind of just spin around, which, you know, you're not going to put it in any other position. Why would he hold it like that? It's just going to be pointed like this. The main point is so you can pop it off and maybe use it with another figure if you want. Then the other arm can do a rotation as well. And at the waist there's a little bit of rotation. So there you go. That arm falls off. Okay, and then the final two figures now. This one is just basically the prison zombie that we see with many other sets. I think we saw it with the Tower set. You can get it with, let me think, he was in the Blind Bags as well, so he's a common one. He's nothing too great. Probably the least of the package here. So he's the least, Merle's the best, and Andrew Lincoln's character is Rick. He's the second best, and then RV Walker I would say is second to last, and this guy is third to best. I'll explain that why in a minute. He's got a nice sculpt on him, nice paint overall, nice black wash, good wrinklage over. He's got a nice zombie face. Yeah, I like this one. It would be nice if they sculpted some of the face stuff, like his teeth or maybe his eyes. I mean painted. Did I say sculpted? Whatever. Okay, the paint on his head, I do like that extra little red paint. Alright, let's talk about articulation on this guy. Full 360 at the head. Arm can move full 360. Other arm full 360. Waist full 360. Yeah. And then at the hips he can just move around like for no reason. But yeah. Okay, so that's him. Something I'm going to say is I'm a little bit pissed off at Mcfarlane for kind of ending these figures. What the hell? He had all sorts of other building sets planned and just, out of nowhere. Nah, we're done. All you guys who spent money on this, just forget you. Forget about it. Kind of odd. I do like the sculpt on this one. This is like the one that went after Dale, I'm pretty sure. This looks like spot on. He's got a hunchback there. He's all scrawny, no shirt, got the beard. I'm going to call this the Dale Scene Walker. So we've got Prison Walker, RV Walker, and then Dale Scene Walker. Or Dale Murder. I don't know, I like his scrawny little hips there. He looks like he's been starving for a while. He's got a nice pants sculpt. Little pre-posed hand there that looks good. Some blood on there, blood on this hand. From where he ripped Dale open. The guy's hand's all bloody. His skin's all rotting looking. And then the face looks, I don't know, it doesn't look too menacing. It looks more like a sad hobo. Maybe a beaten up sad hobo. But overall, I do like the sculpt of him. And I like his pose more importantly. He looks like a walker from the way he's posed. Oh, dang, that focus problem right there. That's what I hate. Bring him up close and then slowly bring him back. Maybe that'll help. Over here. Come on. Cameras. There we are. Okay, so let's talk about quick articulation here. He can move his head that way and that way. It's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't move too well at the head. I wouldn't recommend moving around too much. It does full 360 on both arms. But of course it's a little bit tight and that might fall off. A little bit of rotation at the hips, and then, yeah, that. Something like that. Okay, so I do like these guys, and as you can see, they all have these little hooks back there, so that you can attach them to their Lego bases, which, come on, these are definitely based off of Lego, there's no question about it. And they all stand fairly well, they're very well sculpted. I do like them all, and I would recommend them, but not for retail price, because for some reason Mcfarlane felt that this was worth, I don't know, it says comparable value is $10. I've seen these guys for $15 at the stores. I mean, come on. That's not a good price. Would not recommend them for full price, but for $5-6, hell, pick them up. It's worth it. So, tell me what you guys think about this review, think about the figures, and make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.